Caitlin Clark is your golden egg. Ex-Clippers center blames WNBA for not protecting their cash cow. The WNBA playoffs began yesterday, marking what should be a flagship moment for the league. There's only one problem. Caitlin Clark, the biggest star in women's basketball, is relegated to wearing street clothes on the bench, as she was long ago ruled out for the rest of the season with a groin injury. Clark's Indiana Fever managed to make the playoffs without her, but they went down in the first game to the Atlanta Dream, 80-68. Now they're just one game away from the end of their season, unless they can find a way to win 2 straight without their franchise player. Olden Polinis appeared on the most recent episode of Byron Scott's Fast Break. In a discussion that mostly centered on WNBA players demanding more pay, he took a slight detour to say that the WNBA needs to recognize what they have with Clark, and that it needs to do a better job of protecting her. "You don't even take care of your own," Polinis said. "You had the golden egg, and you still do, but yet you clown. Caitlin Clark is your golden egg." Polinis pointed out how in her rookie season, the schedule makers sent Clark to face the 2 toughest defenses in the league to begin her career, not exactly giving her a chance to start her rookie season on a high note. Clark scored 20 points in her debut, but she turned it over 10 times in a 21-point loss to the Connecticut Sun. Her next 2 games were against the New York Liberty, the team that would go on to win the title later that year. Predictably, both of those games were also lopsided Fever losses, especially the second one, which the Liberty won 102-66. Polinis used an NBA comparison to demonstrate what the WNBA should be doing for Clark. "You gotta use that to your advantage," he said of having such a popular superstar like Clark in the league. People clown and talked about, well, they had the Jordan rules and the league changed. Yeah, because they knew what was going on. "We need to protect our cash cow," he continued. "We need to make sure that Jordan brings in the revenue." Polinis got his argument a bit twisted, because while at first he seemed to come at the WNBA for not doing a better job of protecting Clark, his stance eventually morphed into what sounded like more of an attack on the players, as he criticized them for demanding higher pay while not protecting Clark, the one who could help them get there. The Jordan rules were pioneered by the bad boy Detroit Pistons, and they boiled down to one thing. If Michael Jordan went to the basket, make him pay for it. Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn would clobber MG whenever he went airborne. Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars would hack and hold whenever he drove. Beat him up, basically. Clark has faced something similar, as she has been subjected to some physical play that has been over the top at times. Other teams have hit her with hard fouls, some of which have resulted in flagrants and even ejections. It's a fine line for the league and the players to walk, because although Clark is the poster child of women's basketball, that status breeds jealousy in other players. Everyone has something to prove when they go against Clark, and sometimes that feeling boils over and ends with a slap or a shove or a non-basketball play. Like the Pistons back in the day, these women are competitors, and they're not about to roll over so that the golden goose can look good. Just as Jordan once did, Clark is going to have to fight through it and earn everything she gets, because outside of deterring hard fouls against her by enacting more severe punishments for transgressors, there isn't much the league can do to help. Clark missed most of this season with myriad injuries, playing in only 13 out of a possible 44 games. That's bad for the league's image, bad for ratings, and bad for keeping the WNBA at or near the top of the daily sports conversation. There's no easy fix, but Clark needs to be on the floor if the league is going to reach its full potential.